I was thinking, what if Shedeur Sanders slid in the draft? I'm a first round, second with the Lions taking. We know they was looking at quarterbacks, and we know what they said about Hendon Hooker. He kind of on a thin line, but I mean, would they really go BPA if they really like Shedeur Sanders that much, and get him ready behind Jared Goff? If he slid, I mean, honestly, there are some destinations they didn't want him to go through. It's a good question. If he starts sliding in the second round, you got an opportunity to get him. And we seen Brian Branch slide, they took him. We seen Hendon Hooker, a quarterback, slide, and they took him. So, and I kind of give my thoughts. And I've watched some Colorado game. I have watched no scouting film or nothing like that on any player this year. I watched a little bit of James Pierce. I like what I see. But you got Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And what I see from him is, I see a kid that had adversity. I see a kid that went to 2 programs, had success. People say, oh, they didn't win. It's how hard it is to build a program. Matt Rule, like, he had a lot of success with Dominic Raiola's son in Nebraska, and then all of a sudden it just went away. It's a process. It's not like baseball where you can just put a whole bunch of talent together and you can turn it around in 1 year. A program or a football team, that's 50 plus people playing together. You got to form camaraderie, put an offensive, if they got the 5-star offensive lineman and put it together, all great offense, that doesn't guarantee you a great offensive line. What guarantees a great offensive line is camaraderie. So what I seen is a kid that played through and with a lot of adversity playing there. That's what I seen. He didn't have the best of everything around him. People say, oh, Travis Hunter saved him. He threw the ball to the Horn kid a lot too. He threw that thing around. So, when you start to kind of look at everything that he's done, he's not had the best of anything. So he's going to go to a situation, if he go high, where he doesn't have the best offensive line, didn't have it in college, didn't have the best weapons, didn't have it in college compared to everybody else. Yeah, Travis Hunter was pretty cool, was a good receiver, but he ain't the best receiver. Talented athlete. Didn't have the best running backs. You know what I'm saying? So it was an upstart, program for the most part. Didn't have the best offensive line. But one thing you can tell about him, he knows how to deal with pressure. He knows how to take the abuse. He can take the abuse and still keep ticking. His anticipation is good. And in the crunch time, he make big plays. The only thing that I really notice about him, and this probably goes a little bit on the head coach and the offensive coordinator, is getting the ball out of his hands faster. Cam Ward had the same issue. They always looking downfield. Check it down. Check it down. If they playing you deep, then you gotta learn how to, manipulate the linebackers and underneath coverage, and then, look them off. But he don't have the biggest arm. He have a good arm. I mean, it ain't Chad Pennington arm, but it ain't, Joe Flacco, Matthew Stafford type, but it's a good arm. Played in the cold in Colorado, played at the HBCU in Jackson State, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't the most mobile quarterback. I mean, Deion's sons ain't fast as well. I think his other son ran a 4.56, which is not bad for a safety, to be honest. It's not bad at all for a safety. Safeties are corners that don't have feet to play safety. So a 4.5 for a safety is pretty good. It's solid. It's a solid number. But, if he did fall in a scenario to get behind Goff, they'd be interested. I mean, Jalen Milroe, maybe they see him as meet with him as a quarterback / offensive weapon or type of weapon. Who knows? They got a couple guys, or one guy in particular in Vacky, safety / running back. So they value versatility, but honestly, Shedeur kind of maybe remind you of Jared Goff, but, Jared Goff a little bit. Good arm. Maybe not as mobile, but he can move better than Jared Goff. But he can make some things happen with his arm. So that may be a place that at the right pick, they may say, you know what, let's invest into him. I think Goff extension is 4 years, so it depends on how it's structured, how much guaranteed money is left. But at some point, they want to ride with him. But also at some point, he's entering the pinnacle of his career, where his physical and his mental is probably not going to be this high at the same time, concurrently. So, we'll see. But if it's worth it for them and they can groom him for a couple years behind Jared Goff, then, He's younger than Hendon Hooker, and maybe he can take the reins. Who knows? But when you have, talent that you really like, you've seen it with the Atlanta Falcons. They liked Penix Jr. last year a lot. They took him despite, Kirk Cousins. In the quarterback position, I keep telling y'all, it's too vital to not secure behind who you already have. You've seen a lot of people adopt that. So, I like him a lot. But also, I still believe in Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker got some of the same issues that, Shedeur and Cam Ward had coming out, where he's just looking for the big play too much. So it's probably an adjustment for him, learning to go underneath coverages, to manipulate it. Jared Goff, who can be better than you? There ain't too many better quarterbacks, short to intermediate, in the middle of the field and on the outside of the hashes that can make them plays. You know what I'm saying? That's what make the Lions offense so deadly. It ain't the point that they can get the ball in their playmakers' hands. It's to the fact that he can get the ball out underneath. He can get it out fast. He can read those coverages, manipulate those linebackers. He killed the middle of the field. So now you got to play tighter in the middle, run the ball, throw it short. All of a sudden, if that play action, now you throwing it short. Now the safety's creeping up. Now they dropping one in the box to stop the run. Play action, go over their head. So it's a system that, obviously can be a little bit more deadly if you have a mobile quarterback. But also it's a system that's daily in general. You just getting the ball to your playmaker. So to be honest, I wouldn't rule it out. Just like it talks about them, maybe needing a receiver. They can't pay everybody, so what do? You move on from J-Mo. I know people don't understand, with the business of the NBA being trash, with Major League Baseball being trash, really what you're looking at is you're going to continue to see an uptick in the NFL financials. Now, where the NFL is going to fail at, they're trying to expand too much. Sometimes a good thing is only a good thing, or a great thing is only a great thing in its proper proportion. You know what I'm saying? Like, after a while, you get a little slice or two of cheesecake, it's good. But now, if I get a whole cheesecake and that's what I'm eating every day for lunch and dinner, like, nah. It's a good filler. Okay, I had a solid dinner. Oh man, I worked hard this week. Let me get a piece of cheesecake. Get a piece of red velvet cake or something like that. Yeah. But eating it all the time, no, you go into that upper room. The NFL need to say, you know what? We don't need to expand for Christmas. We don't need 18 games. We don't need Thursday night football. Our product gonna hit different on Sundays and Mondays. But when you try to expand too thin, that's a sign of greed. But let me know what y'all think about Shedeur. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.